Hello and welcome to this video. Today we're going to talk about the duplicate integer problem. The description of it that we are given an integer array. We have to return true if any value appears more than once. Otherwise we return false. The first solution that we might think about is brute forcing. What I mean by brute forcing is that we are going to check on every element that we have here whether it is equal to any of the other elements, and we have to do it on every single time. This means for one time it's going to be the time complexity of O of n, and since we are doing it for every single item, it's going to be O of n squared. And for space complexity, it's going to be the O of 1 because we're not using any extra space. The second solution that we might think about is sorting the array. After sorting the array, we point at two items and we check whether they are equal or not. This way takes time complexity of O n log n, since the sorting algorithm takes a bit of time as well. And for the space complexity, it takes O of 1 if we don't consider the space taken by the sorting algorithm. So the more efficient way that we have here is using a hash set. But why do we use a hash set? A hash set allows us to insert our values at the time complexity of O of 1. Then we can ask our hash set whether it contains a certain value. So let's look through our array. For the first item, we see it's 1. We check whether it is in our hash set or not. We see that it is not. So we insert it. And for the 2 and 3, it's the same. Then we check for the last element. It is going to say that it exists and it will return true. So here the time complexity becomes O of n. And the space complexity becomes O of n because we are using extra space for our hash set. And now for the code.